everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What works in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Hey, watch it.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Mickens to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Sony Michel, his first carry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. And he's in. Touchdown. Sonny Michel, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Play fake. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big.
Picked off by Justin Reed. Shot at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, if you go by the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the 50, it's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. A shotgun snap for Watson. He'll rifle this one deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A huge play there for Houston. 45 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. This guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, flush to his right. He'll run it. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll run it. Here's Cook. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Watson now already at 150 yards passing, and we're still in the first quarter. It's 1st and 10. He's got Fuller, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. On the ground, this is Michel. Oh, a good move at the 5. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Steps away to his left. He finds Hopkins complete. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. The things got a little dicey there as soon as he exited the pocket out to the left.
And he ends up throwing it for no yardage gained. I don't know about you, but my high school coach, John Ford, if he saw a ball in the air and you got no yards out of it, he would have had a stroke. Okay?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Keelan Cole. His first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. They go play action. Cousins. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after one. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, though.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down in defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd, Watson escaping the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, the return is Mickens. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Watson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. A quick throw out wide to Fuller. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Open man is QT, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now it's Watson. A bootleg, eluding the pressure right. Touchdown, Texans. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. On 2nd and 9. Cousins, tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this throw caught left side. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with
the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Michael set. 19. Yeah.
On 1st down, Watson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody one direction, and whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game. Probably something they need to do more of here, losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Cousins. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
It's the Texans. Way in the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. Pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Looking to throw. Campbell. And finding Keelan Cole. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Off the draw, here's Williams. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
3 butts.
Again, it's Williams. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Campbell to throw on 3rd down. Got an open man, Keelan Cole. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Campbell now, looking to throw on second down. Open man is Hansen. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On first down, Campbell. Flushed out right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
On second down, this is Madison. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 29.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. This is Miller, complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. On second down now, it's Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. Torrey McTyer there on.
First half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A first down throw for Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection. Make it a one-receiver route and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 42. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Cousins now from the 50. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
After the incompletion, here now 3rd and 2. Now Cousins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. And, you know, you and I praised tight ends in today's game a lot for being just like a bigger-bodied wide receiver. Boy, a play that long from that position, you just didn't used to see that as much.
No, you were really just counting on the tight end position to catch the football and get what they got on the catch. And now it's the run after the catch that makes them so dangerous. Hard to bring those big guys down when they get rolling.
Couldn't bring him down here. Got into the end zone.
Let's go, baby.
And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. It's wearing the tight end with it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
To throw is Campbell. To throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Check. Fresno.
Ready. Campbell off the play fake. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Check 4.
Protein spill.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grip. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The throw taken in by Cole. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And he's going to go down again. Eric Kendricks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
So possession goes over here on the punt. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And the Texans set to come onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, exit.
Ready. Here's Campbell operating from the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. That one may not cost him in the end, but still, obviously something the coach wants to avoid.
Oh, without a doubt. It won't cost the team because of where they are on the scoreboard, but it will cost the player who gave up the football.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Anthony Harris on the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. To throw on 3rd down, Campbell. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they decline it as that will bring up 4.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
You ready? You ready? You ready?
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's caught. Smith. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off here, the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their...
And this is going to be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception.
And if he's...
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Cousins on 1st down. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Give him 30 yards there. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the